We need to talk about the future of the wizarding world because things are getting incredibly interesting over at Avalanche Software. We finally have official confirmation from a recent Warner Bros. Discovery shareholder report. Hogwarts Legacy 2 is officially in the works. After the massive record-breaking success of the first game, a sequel was inevitable, but here's where the plot thickens. Avalanche Software's recent recruitment drive is giving us our very first clues about what they're building next, and it looks like they're preparing to cast a massive multiplayer spell. Avalanche is currently aggressively recruiting for a new online multiplayer RPG. There are job listings that specifically reference matchmaking, multiplayer infrastructure, lobbies, persistent player data. So, this begs the million-dollar question. Are these multiplayer features being built directly for Hogwarts Legacy 2? Or is Avalanche secretly developing a completely separate multiplayer game? Well, let's look at the actual features being teased here. The job listings point to, quote, repeatable open world activities designed to scale from a few players to many. If this is for Hogwarts Legacy 2, we could be looking at a massive shift from how we experience this game. It will no longer be a single-player game, or at least it will no longer be limited to a single-player experience. Think about the types of multiplayer features that you could have if they did this in this universe. On the cooperative side, you could be at a party and 3 of your friends want to explore the Forbidden Forest. You want to hunt down dark wizards. You want to tackle multi-room dungeon vaults. Maybe there's coordinated spell casting that you have to use to solve puzzles or take down enemies or bosses. Then there's a competitive side they could do. I mean, you could have matchmaking, you could have lobbies, you could do PvP, because matchmaking and lobbies are mentioned in these job postings. We could see an official dueling club where you would test your wand combat against other players and have ranked arenas. And if it wasn't in the first game, doesn't mean they couldn't do it, right? Everybody kept asking about Quidditch. Maybe they could build multiplayer infrastructure that could actually bring that to light directly into the open world and into the game. It's the exact kind of social interactive magic fans were begging for in the original game. It really seemed like they were going to patch in co-op at some point. But here's where we have to read between the lines. Words like persistent player data and scalable open world activities are major buzzwords for live service and MMO genres. If Hogwarts Legacy 2 goes this route, what would that mean for the franchise? An MMO Lite or live service Hogwarts Legacy would likely feature, shared social hubs. You could walk into the Great Hall, you could walk to Hogsmeade, you could go to Diagon Alley and see dozens of other real players just sort of hanging out. Maybe they're trading, maybe they're showing off their latest gear. The repeatable open world activities could also mean dynamic public events, like maybe the troll attacks, maybe there's a massive magical beast that shows up, and then anybody in the server could just seamlessly fly over on their broom and join the fight. However, there is an elephant in the room. Warner Bros. Has made no secret of their desire to lean into live service games, but injecting an MMO-style grind into Hogwarts Legacy is a massive risk. The first game sold over 40 million copies, largely because it was just a great handcrafted single-player experience. You could just sort of play it on your own, and there seems to be an increase in demand for those types of games, while there's a bit of a stigma about live service. If the sequel leans too heavily into daily quests, battle passes, live service monetization, they risk alienating the core fan base that wants to attend classes and unravel a great story. And that live service stigma is difficult to overcome without a very solid deliverable to do it. That brings us to a very plausible alternative. Warner Bros. Has officially confirmed that Hogwarts Legacy 2 is coming, but they've not officially confirmed multiplayer for that specific game. It is possible that Avalanche is splitting their focus. They could be developing Hogwarts Legacy 2 as a single-player, narrative-heavy sequel that everybody sort of expects to continue what happened in the first game, and maybe a second team inside the studio is building up bandwidth to work on a separate standalone Wizarding World multiplayer game. A dedicated live service spin-off would allow Warner Bros. To chase that ongoing multiplayer revenue without compromising the integrity of their flagship single-player RPG. Maybe they're taking a page out of GTA's book, where you got a single-player game and then you got Hogwarts Legacy Online. But that, of course, would mean that they're splitting their focus and their bandwidth at the company, which I don't think is a great recipe for Hogwarts Legacy 2 to have depth and well-built systems, and it certainly would mean any kind of Hogwarts online experience could also get a little shortchanged. You kind of want all hands on deck for a sequel like this. The game was so good, you got to make sure you at least match or outdo its depth and size. So where does that leave us? Hogwarts Legacy 2 is definitely happening. At the same time, a major multiplayer Wizarding World experience seems to be being built behind closed doors at Avalanche. Now, whether or not they're the same or two completely different projects, well, the future of the franchise, I actually think they're expanding into something that is more multiplayer focused. But I want to hear from you. Do you want Hogwarts Legacy to feature co-op or, just playing with a friend, or an MMO style live service thing? Or should they just keep it strictly single player? Let me know what you think, hit like, and be sure to stop by one of my live streams.